guys, today is all about pasta, and it's actually about one of the oldest pastas in history, spaghetti. So everybody knows what it is, everybody loves it, you can pair it with a million things, but today we're going to make a special sauce. I have the recipe actually written down here, and I'm getting really good at this because today I actually wrote a separate sheet for the directions. So I didn't really have a name for it, so I called it Spaghetti JJ. And for those of you that don't know, that's what everyone calls me at the restaurant. It started a long, long time ago. So if you ever hear that, that's me. So we're just going to call this Spaghetti JJ today. And the first thing is, a pound of spaghetti, a little bit of pancetta. If you don't have pancetta, you can of course use bacon, a small shallot or an onion, ground chicken. I picked chicken because I like the lightness of it, and this is such a really light dish that I didn't want to go dark with like beef or anything like that, but you could substitute turkey also in there. I do frozen peas. Some people don't like peas, do something else. You can't skimp on these though. You need heavy cream and mascarpone. A lot of people, when they saw that, they were like, yay, I still have my mascarpone from last week. So this is really good. We're learning to recycle things in the refrigerator. And then just the spices we need is a nutmeg, salt, and pepper. So the directions are right on here, and they're pretty simple. So I'm going to get started. I already have a pot of water boiling here. It's actually, I'm going to move this out of the way. It's actually already salted, because remember that we said we always want our pasta to swim in like this water like the sea. So it calls for a pound of pasta, but I'm only going to do a half because, as you see, this is the dish. I made it yesterday, so I already did like a whole pound of pasta here. So I have some already, and I'm just going to make a little bit more. So I'm going to put that in there, and I'm going to let that start swimming. And I got this little fancy fork here. It's like a spoon but a fork. And it's really good for just keeping spaghetti and different pastas separated while they're in the pot. And we're just going to get them swimming around in there. And then we can pretty much just check on them a little bit at a time. But for the most part, we can forget about these in here. And spaghetti takes about 8 minutes to cook. So that's about how long this dish is going to take. So we're getting really simple here. All right, Trax, you're on my feet again. I got my buddy here with me again today. And he's loving when I pull up because I give him a little bit of the food that falls, and he's loving it now. So, and I got my little pasta apron going. So we are all set. So I'm going to turn the burner on here, and I got it again. Now I'm pro at this. And I don't have to put any shortening or anything like that in the pan because we're going to be using pancetta. Now, for those of you that might look for it in the store, it's basically Italian bacon is what it is. And so this is what it would look like in the store if you went to buy it. I got this at Food Lion. I know Publix has it. Even maybe Walmart, I'm not sure. They have a lot of good stuff in there. So this is the pancetta, and it's 4 ounces, and it worked out to be perfect. See, I went through and I tried everything yesterday to see exactly what we needed. And the first thing we're going to do is we're going to put the pancetta in the pan here. So it just comes right out. It's already chopped for you. So, I mean, how much more easy can things get, guys? There. We'll just take it out of here. And it's already salted. It's just like bacon, so you really don't need to add any salt to it at all. Maybe if you want to add a little pepper, you could. We got all things pasta today. Pasta la vista. And I wanted to show you these. I got these. This is, I love spatulas. They're my favorite thing in the world. So a customer came into the restaurant last Saturday, was it? Mm-hmm. Saturday night. And it was all wrapped up really pretty. And she said, Jennifer, these are for you. I brought them because I know how much you love spatulas. And so it was a small one and a big one with my initial. And it even has a little measuring thing on the back again. I don't know where she got them, but they're really super sturdy. So I wanted to just give her a shout out, and I just wanted to thank her.
They're cute.
They are pretty, aren't they? I'm afraid to use it. I don't want to ruin it. Do I have this whole thing going again now?
Yes.
All right. I got the outside rim going too?
Yes.
Okay. All right. So we're getting our pancetta going. And to that, I'm going to add, it says on here, a very small shallot. So I got a little bit sidetracked today. Track is right by my feet here, buddy. I got a little sidetracked today. I had a sick dog at 4 o'clock. I had to take my husband to go get keys out of a truck at 5:30. Then the dog was still sick all morning, so I never got to the store to get the shallot. So I'm just using a small onion that's all chopped up. So I like to use a shallot just because it has a more milder flavor. There we go. It has a milder flavor to it. So that's the only reason. But an onion works just fine. Step over you, Tracks. Okay, I'm gonna stir this spaghetti still. And since I have the salt in there, I can actually smell it. And this is a really great little tool. It really separates the spaghetti, keeps it floating around. I wish they had a really, really big one of these at the restaurant. That's a pain in the neck. All right, so I hear the pancetta going, and I'm gonna add to it a little bit of pepper. And I brought my own pepper today because remember I told you last week what I found out?
Wow, okay.
I will leave this with you.
I don't want it.
You may now have this. This is just one of those throwaway ones anyway. It's just a tricolor. So I'm going to put the fresh peppercorns in here. Give it a little bit of flavor. And like I said, now you may have this on your counter. You're getting all the goodies I'm leaving behind here.
Every week.
So I don't know if a lot of you knew, Abby had a car accident this week. So I wanted to thank everybody who reached out to us. We got a lot of people on Facebook. A lot of people privately messaged me. I believe it's probably your first accident, right?
Yeah.
Maybe a tiny fender bender
Yeah.
or something, maybe.
Doesn't really
parking
count.
lot.
Yeah.
This one was major, guys. Her car is no longer, but praise God, Abby's fine. As you see, she's doing the camera here. She only took 1 day off from work.
And I was forced.
I forced her. I told her if she wanted the day, all she had to do was ask me. But yeah, it was a pretty scary deal. Anyone that's been through that understands. So, but I basically just brought it up because I wanted to thank everybody. A lot of people really did reach out to us and were very concerned and wished her well.
Yeah.
So I also wanted to say hello to Denise and Karen. Let me see if I can get this right. Zuccolo. And Denise is up in Rhode Island, and she messaged me this week. She's been watching all of the videos, and her sister Karen lives in Seabrook. And then I got a message from my friend Lisa Howell in New York. That's my daughter's childhood best friend's mom, and so of course we were good friends. So she's been making my recipes also. Good job, Lise. Okay, so this is a really nice spatula. Okay, so this is getting nice and browned now, as you see. And then now we can add in the chicken. So this is a ground chicken, and once we put this in, we really don't even have to worry about draining the fat off of it because there really wasn't any. And I was going to take this out and put it in a fancy dish, but I'm just showing you guys how I cook. I'm a realist here. I go to the store and I buy stuff just like everybody else. I'm standing a little awkward here because he really doesn't mind. All right, so we're just going to break up all the ground chicken in here. If you wanted to substitute ground turkey, you could. Oh, he moved. Thank you, Tracker. You could substitute ground veal, even lamb if you wanted to, or other meat than that, because then you're going to start changing the taste of this dish. And this is a very light dish. I would say it's healthy, but we're going to be putting heavy cream in here and mascarpone cream. So that kind of defeats it a little bit. So we're thinking about doing another giveaway on here because we've got some really nice things now. We've got a bunch of things like Amici's ball caps and tote bags and aprons. So next week I'm probably going to be telling you guys about that. All right, so we got the chicken all crumbled up here and it's going really well. It's going to give our spaghetti a stir. I love this pot. Nothing sticks to it whatsoever. And the flame was so high at the restaurant that look at it did to the handle over here.
Oh, wow.
Yeah. But this is going really well, so. All right, this is just gonna take a minute to heat up this. Heat this through, cook it. And now while it's cooking, I'm going to add my frozen peas in here. And it says for a half a cup. So I love frozen peas because they have really sweet, and you basically only have to heat them through. And they add a mild sweetness to this dish. So between the salty pancetta, and then you have like the mild, the balanced out chicken, and then when we add the peas to it, it adds a little bit of sweetness. And like I said, you could put asparagus in here, spinach. One of my friends, Quinn, she made I think it was Quinn, made the risotto dish, and I think she put green beans in it instead of the asparagus, because they don't like it. So that's fine. And whatever you have works. Okay, so look how quick this was already. The chicken is all done, and the pancetta is cooked through. The onions, they're chopped so small that they cook very fast also. And you just want to break this up for maybe as small as you want it, as you want it in there. Okay, so the next thing we're going to do, I'm going to check my spaghetti and see where we're at with this. All right. Let's see. Almost there. It's al dente, but a little bit too al dente. All right, so this is done. And the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to add the mascarpone cream to it. Now, remember we had the mascarpone cream from last week, but I have another one here, so I'm going to empty all this into there. Empty this out. And that's where the little spatula came in handy today. All right. And see, all these things we're just taking out of the refrigerator. And we're going to move this around until it melts in here. Now, I always tell you that it can be used for sweet or savory dishes. And obviously this is a savory one, but just 2 days ago I made tiramisu and I used it in that. So it's a very, very, it's almost like American cream cheese, but it's not as tangy. Okay, so that melted really nice already. So that's gonna give it like this thick, rich base. Okay, so to this, now I'm gonna season this a little bit because we've got a lot of ingredients in here. So I'm gonna just put a little bit of salt in, and I'm just gonna add a little bit more of this fancy pepper I have. It's 3 colors here, so let's see if Anthony even notices it. When he goes
I'm sure.
Really?
He doesn't cook much here, but he'll
He's
notice.
too busy cooking at the restaurant. All right, you can tell him that's from JJ. All right, and to this, I'm eyeballing everything, guys, but I have everything on the directions. It calls for 1.5 teaspoons of nutmeg. Now, nutmeg is one of those warm spices that goes really well with cream-based stuff. And it's just basic nutmeg. If you had like the little one and you wanted to put it on a little grinder, you could definitely do that as well. But for now, this is perfect. We're gonna mix all that in. I smell it. Okay, now to this, I'm gonna add heavy cream. Heavy whipping cream. Try not to skimp. You know, I always say use what you have in your refrigerator. I always have heavy cream. Sometimes I like to make whipped cream put it in my coffee and stuff. So I'm just using this pint. I'm not gonna use it all because I didn't use the whole pound of pasta, but you would use the entire thing. So now this is going to tighten up, which means it's going to reduce down. It seems like every Friday one of my dogs gets sick or something. So today I'm hoping she's okay. She's coughing. I never heard of a dog coughing. Okay, so we have this going. It is now, once it starts, you know, it's like a low simmer right now. And I always tell you that because you can see these little bubbles around the rim. But once it starts bubbling all the way through, you're going to see it kind of tighten up. And I always call it that because it just gets nice and thick in there. Yep, there it goes. And I'm pretty sure this pasta's done, so we can probably turn this off. And I'm not going to strain this because I'm going to empty it right into this pan. Well, I'm going to put it in the pan. I'm not going to empty it. It's done. So we can turn this off. And you see how it's boiling now? So it's thickening as it boils. Because it's letting like the oxygen into there and it's tightening it up. All right. Okay, so to this mix now, I'm going to take the spaghetti. Now, if you try to do, yesterday I went through this and I tried to do it with a spider and it was a disaster. It was falling all over. So I said, you know what, tongs is it. Okay, so we're going to put the spaghetti in here. Now look how big this dish is, and it wasn't even the full pound of spaghetti. So when you're going to do this dish, it's going to make a lot. So just kind of remember that. I'm going to get that out of the way. And I'm going to mix this around now. It's getting really thick already. See that? If it's, just say it was too thick and you're like, uh-oh, what happened to my dish? You know, this is like a glue ball in here. Then that's why you keep your pasta water. You take some of that, you would take like a little scoop of it and add it to this and it will thin it out. Look how pretty this looks, huh?
Yeah, it smells good too.
Doesn't it smell good? I smell the nutmeg. So I have a little bit of Parmesan cheese here. I didn't put it in the recipe because I didn't want it to make it out like an Alfredo, because this is not Alfredo. But at the same time, I wanted to add a little bit here at the end just to have it melt down. Oh my God, I'm starving.
I know, me too.
See, I come over at the right time on Fridays. She doesn't have to eat lunch because her mama's gonna feed her. All right, guys, this is done. So we're gonna get bowls out here in Miss Abs. Look at that. And it took no time at all. So by the time the pasta got done, which was 8 minutes, your dinner is done. So there we go. All right, I got a bowl here. And we're gonna take some spaghetti. We might need 2 forks though. And I'm gonna show you how I'm going to dress this up at the end here. And I just want to get some of this sauce in here. Did we turn this up? Yeah. I want to get some of the chicken on there. And the pancetta. Look at all this goodness. Okay. And then I'm going to put a little bit of Parmesan on the top of this. And I know Jackie Black makes my my dinners every week, my recipes, and she is phenomenal. So I'm a texture person. I like to put like that extra little crunch on things. So I have a few walnuts here that I actually toasted in a pan this morning. I was making coffee and I threw walnuts in the pan. That's how tired I was from being up at 4. So I'm just gonna drizzle a couple right on the top. And it's not like they're gonna add a lot of flavor, but since we toasted them, it actually brings out more of the nutty flavor of them. So they're really gonna be good. And then I have here,
I didn't see that coming.
you didn't see what coming? The walnuts?
Yeah.
Good. I'm gonna enlighten
Yeah,
you.
let me get a fork.
Oh, where are the forks?
Anthony did the dishes.
Anthony did the dishes. Okay, so you can see everything in there. It looks delish, doesn't it? The peas. We've got the spaghetti all cooked with the cream sauce. The pancetta. All right, guys. You ready to try? Ready to dig in? Make sure you get some chicken.
This is the hardest part every week.
Well, because you're trying to eat spaghetti.
I want the pancetta. It's my favorite.
Yeah. Oh, you did good.
I know.
Did better than me.
I didn't get a pea though.
Well, it's hard to get a pea on the fork.
Yeah.
All right.
Hot? We do this every week. Give me the old one.
Okay. Too hot for you. It reminds me a little bit of the fall. And I don't know why, but I think it's just because of the nutmeg.
I loved that walnut just now.
See?
Yeah.
It adds really good flavor to it. You get that little bit of crunch to
Mm-hmm.
it. And then, you know, we could even throw them in, you know, now after it's done cooking. But you can see like all the chicken in it with the peas. This is a really great dish, guys. It
Yeah.
took literally like 19 minutes, if that. We were too busy eating. But it's delicious and your family will love it. And make sure that when you make the dishes, you're not getting any of this, buddy. Look at him. He is dying for a piece here. Make sure when you make the dishes, you send them to me, and so I can post them on Facebook so everyone can see, you know, how great you guys are doing. I just want to let you know that we are in the works of scheduling a cooking class at the restaurant. So we're allowed to be open 100% now. We still have some precautions that we need to take, but I can do a small cooking class, and I'm going to make an announcement of what we're going to make. And it's going to be a fall dish because it's going to be in November when we do this. So we're getting close to Abby's wedding, so I got to try to fit things in when I can. But I do want to do the cooking class. So I'm going to go eat this, and you guys have a wonderful weekend. Ciao.